life, preparatory to the establishment of entirely new modes of social living and relationship. He went on to write about the reorganization of our political, economic, and social life. And on page 33 of his book, and that is also symbolic for reasons I'll explain later, he called these tremendous changes the New World Order. So now that I've examined some of the thoughts of these, or those in favor of creating this New World Order, it would next be important to ask and then answer the question as to when it is to arrive. Have those in favor of these changes given us an official date of arrival when this New World Order is going to start? And unfortunately they have. Aldous Huxley, for one, answered that question when he wrote this in his book in the year 1958. He wrote, "The 21st century will be the era of the world controllers." The year 2000, meaning the beginning of the 21st century, is just 5.5 or 6 years from now. And for the purists in the viewing audience, I know that you are probably saying that the 21st century does not start until the year 2001. I will agree with you, but I would like to show you that this is not how those who reckon time for this conspiracy calculate it. In any event, until I do directly discuss the calculations about the year 2000, I will just say that the time is getting closer. Let me summarize all that we've learned so far. We haven't covered all of these points during this video, but those we haven't discussed are inside my book entitled The New World Order. This is what we've covered or will cover in the book, or even cover in later parts of this lecture. The old world is coming to an end. It will be replaced with the new way of doing things, and this new way of doing things will be called the New World Order. The United States will play the major role in bringing this New World Order to the world. Adolf Hitler, the National Socialists, supported the New World Order. The Communists also support the goal of the planners. George Bush wanted the same New World Order that Adolf Hitler, the Communists, and other socialists want. The majority of the people will not readily accept the New World Order, but will be deceived into accepting it by two strategies. One, those in favor of the changes will have become seated in the very thrones of power, generally without the public realizing that fact. Secondly, the old world order will be destroyed all at once after a huge catastrophe, one that was planned by this conspiracy. Let's go back to our list now. The basic tenets of Christianity, which were the base of the old world order, will be replaced with a new way of doing things. These changes to the New World Order are coming shortly, so that the entire structure will be in place by the year 2000. Before I continue, I would like to say this. From this point on, I'll be talking as an historian, not as a Bible student. I happen to be a Bible-believing Christian, but you will notice that what I will be explaining as an historian and researcher will sound like what some Bible readers believe the Bible says about the future. I am aware of that, but I am presenting this information from the pages of history, from your newspapers and magazines, and from the books written by those who support the goals of the New World Order. So please remember that I am saying these things as an historian, not as a Bible student. I would like now to discuss how we, the people in the world, are going to be deceived. Adam Weishaupt, the founder of a secret society known as the Illuminati in the year 1776, answered that question. He wrote, "Of all the means that I know to lead men, the most effectual is a concealed mystery." Weishaupt was telling us that they could control men through the use of concealed mysteries. These planners are concealing mysteries from us. Certain men are hiding the future of the world in concealed mysteries, and it would be helpful to answer the question of where this secret is kept. Arthur Edward Waite, a prolific writer on secret societies and another member of the Masonic Lodge, has written this: "Beneath the broad tide of human history, there flow the stealthy undercurrents of the secret societies, which frequently determine in the depths the changes that take place upon the surface." So Mr. Waite was telling us that the secret societies are the key to understanding both the past and the future. So we must explore secret societies to understand the New World Order. Someone else who tried to warn us about secret societies was George Orwell. This socialist was supposedly an opponent of big government, and those who say that point out that he wrote a novel called 1984 about the excess of government. In that novel, he had one of his characters join a secret society, and Mr. Orwell wrote about the oath that the initiate in his story had to take. He had his initiate answer these questions. Are you prepared to give your life, to commit murder, to commit acts of sabotage which may cause the death of hundreds of innocent people? Are you prepared to betray your country to foreign powers? Are you prepared to cheat, to forge, to blackmail, to corrupt the minds of children, to distribute habit-forming drugs? Are you prepared to encourage prostitution, to disseminate venereal diseases? Are you prepared to do anything which is likely to cause demoralization and weaken the power of the people? Are you prepared to commit suicide if and when we order you to do so? Notice that this was written in 1949, yet this oath is describing what is happening all over America. And the reason it is happening is because secret societies administer a similar oath to thousands of people every year all over this nation. And these secret societies are changing the face of America because they are doing exactly what they've taken an oath to do, and that is to weaken the power of the people. And Orwell answers the question as to what the result of all this secrecy is. He says this on page 220 of his book. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. So that is what I will be talking about during this lecture. A boot stamping on a human face forever. The first thing I want to explain is the fact that there has been a secret inside past religions and these secret societies that has not been revealed to mankind. Albert G. Mackey, a leader in the Masonic Order, one of the most important secret societies in the world, wrote this 2-volume set called the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. In that encyclopedia he wrote, each of the pagan gods had, beside the public and open, a secret worship paid to him to which none were admitted, but those who had been selected by the preparatory ceremonies called initiation. This secret worship was termed the mysteries. And so what Mr. Mackey was saying was that most religions in the past had two worships, a visible worship and a secret worship, and that not all inside the circle of believers knew the secret. Perhaps the best way to illustrate that point is through the use of a point inside a circle. Everyone on the page of the world is on this illustration. The population who do not believe in the God of the particular religion are outside the circle. Those who believe in the particular God are inside the circle, and those who know that the God being worshipped is not the God the rest of the believers believe in are inside the dot. So just as Mr. Mackey said, there are two different types of believers, those who do not know the secret and those who do. So what he was saying was that there were two layers inside the worship of every major god of the past. Worshippers of the god known as Osiris, the Egyptian god, Bacchus, the Roman god, Hercules, the Greek god, Krishna, the Hindu god, and Thor, the Scandinavian god, for example, all had two worships inside the circle of believers, one visible and one invisible. One was public and open, and the other one was secret and concealed. This secret worship was not periodic in the past, it has been constant. It is not new, it is 6,000 years old, as we shall see as we continue studying the material, and it is worldwide. There are evidences of this secret worship of another god all over the world, in every culture and in every time period. Those who know the secret identity of the true God conceal their secret in symbols. This is once again Manly P. Hall, who was perhaps the most prolific writer on the subject of secrets and symbols during his lifetime, and this is a book entitled The Secret Teachings of All Ages. In that book he told us Symbolism fulfilled the dual office of concealing the sacred truths from the uninitiated and revealing to those qualified to understand the symbols. Notice that the use of symbols has two purposes: conceal the truth from the public and relay information to others qualified to understand them. We the people see the symbol, but do not concern ourselves because we do not understand that it has a hidden meaning. Those initiated into the secret worship understand them, and we do not. And these hidden symbols are everywhere, as we shall soon see. The next area I would like to discuss is the organizations and individuals who are going to give us this New World Order. Alice Bailey, one of the leaders of a thing called the New Age movement, reported that she was aware of a group she called the Hierarchy that possessed enormous power. She wrote that she had a friendly being that spoke to her, and that being claimed that he had actually visited this group during one of its meetings. This being told Alice to write this: "As one of the masters, unknown to you, remarked at a meeting of the Hierarchy a few weeks ago." So she is claiming that this being was invited to a meeting of the conspirators and that she does not know who they were. But whereas she might not know who they are, she answered the question of how important they were in her book entitled The Externalization of the Hierarchy. And this is what she said: "The hierarchy directs world events so that the unfolding consciousness may express itself through development and adequate social, political, religious, and economic world forms. They, this hierarchy, give direction, they throw a light." And she said they definitely influence the tide of human affairs. According to Miss Bailey, these masters have been working for what they call the good of mankind for millions of years. She wrote this: "The hierarchy has stood in silence behind world events, occupied with the following work, a work which will eventually be carried on exoterically, meaning the hierarchy will work out in the open in the future, instead of esoterically, meaning that they will cease operating in a concealed or hidden manner. The conspirators are one day going to release the information on what they have been up to for many countless generations. And I must add that George Bush started this process of identification in August of 1990. So now it is possible to ask and then answer the question as to whether or not we can know who these masters are." Alice Bailey says this elsewhere in her book entitled The Externalization of the Hierarchy. She wrote this: "The three main channels through which the preparation for this new age," and you can use the two phrases, the New World Order and the New Age, interchangeably, because the New Age is the New World Order. So she said this New Age is going on, the preparation for this New Age is going on, and it might be regarded as the church, the Masonic fraternity, and the educational field. She is saying that the church, meaning the Christian church, the secret society known as the Masons, and the public school system are all working together to bring us the New World Order. During this lecture today, we are going to concentrate only on the Masons. The others are in my book and videos." She continued on page 511 of her book to explain just how important Masonry is to the future of the world. She wrote, "The Masonic movement will meet the needs of those who can and should wield power. It is the custodian of the law. It is the home of the mysteries and the seat of initiation. It holds in its symbolism the ritual of deity, and the work of salvation is pictorially preserved in its work. The methods of deity are demonstrated in the temples, its temples, and under the all-seeing eye the work can go forward. It, meaning Masonry, is a far more occult organization than can be realized and is intended to be the training school for the coming advanced occultists." Alice Bailey failed to tell her readers who these hidden masters were, but one of the New Age believers did tell us at least who one of the people were. Now, we've quoted Benjamin Creme before. He is a believer in the New Age religion, and he's written a book entitled the reappearance of the Christ and the Masters of Wisdom. He told us that this man was one of the members